Casualties continue to mount over the long years I've struggled. More and more I find myself wondering if it's all worth fighting for. Maybe one day I'll find out. There is one thing I do know. I have a job to do, and I'm going to see it through. We're live!
Woo!
Hey everyone!
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome to the Crimson Head Elder live stream interview with special guest, the voice of Albert Wesker, D.C.Douglas.
Hello, everybody. Where are the...
Hi, well, thank you for joining us. You've got myself, George Trevor, and I'm going to hand over to our and also I'll let the Oracle Dragon say hello. We're both going to be monitoring the live chat and passing your questions on to Mr. D.C.Douglas. Over to the Oracle Dragon.
Hello, everyone. Oracle Dragon here. You know me. So we're going to be having fun here with DC. Artie and Kat, they'll be gaming the game. So enjoy.
Whee! Yes, we're so lucky. We've got two streamers here. We've got Sonny Bauer, who I'm sure you guys know, and also as a special guest streamer, we've got Catastrophe. Hey, Kat.
Hey, what's up, guys? You may know me as Kat, the RE community manager, but today I'm just going to be Sheva, and I'm going to be taking all the herbs. Just going to chill, hang out, play some games, and I'm sure it's going to be a great night. I'm excited to be
I took
here.
some herbs as well.
well, we'll be a bit quiet on that one.
And this is Sonny Bauer reporting in. I'll be Chris Redfield, and I'm going to take on D.C.Douglas.
Correct.
Wesker, your plans are finished. Okay.
Well, it's good to be here. Now, we're by the way, we're all connected from like several different places, right? So I'm in Los Angeles. Where are you?
Well, me and Oracle Dragon are on the East Coast. I'm in New Jersey, and Aaron is from Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I thought DC was from a volcano.
No, that's where I
Burn.
die.
Oh, literal burn.
By the way, Billy or Biddly Diddly 33 whatever asked if Wesker ever paid, for Jake. And the answer would be no.
That's Bloody Eye, I believe. But Biddly Diddly. Love it.
I'm not great at reading all these quick little names, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I think Bloody Eye's got one of the better names that I've seen out there. But hey, Jerry, Jerry's over in Missouri, and he's always been a big supporter of our interviews.
Oh, very cool. And Kat, you're in.
I am in London.
Nice. I can't wait to go back to London.
Do it.
Hey, do you know Heather, by the way?
Specter's here.
Umbrella Spectre. You know Umbrella?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she did some artworks for me, and she was a Pennsylvania girl.
Oh.
Yes, and she's my creative partner. We do a thing called Breaking News, msmbreakingnews.com, where we make these little Trump cartoons, and plus a couple film shorts together, Feminist in the Wild, and also what was the other one? Ginger and Snap. I can't remember the name of it. Ginger and Snapper. Oh, it's something like that. She'll probably tell me. Anyway, she just moved to LA. So
Pretty good.
Cool. Congrats to her. I think I saw the tweet the other day. So, yeah. Hope you're settled in LA.
Yeah.
Right. So, guys, are we all ready to enter Kijuju?
Yes, I just want to say there's a member of the Project Umbrella podcast just showed up, DC, Stars Tyrant. I can't remember if that was when you did their podcast.
Oh, yes.
All of these podcasts and things have similar names because they're all derived from the Resident Evil world, that it all blurs together at one point for me. No offense.
Okay. Well, yes, I think without further ado, I think that it's time for myself and Catastrophe to take on the one who has the right to be a god.
Bring it on.
Let's go.
Shoot me an invite whenever. I'm a little bit nervous. This game doesn't always connect well on Steam.
Yes, no, it doesn't.
Seeing everyone coming in the live chat, I just want to say hi to everyone. It's fantastic. I mean, you mentioned before that's Sean, Stars Tyrant. His first name may ring a bell. DC Sean from Project Umbrella, who I think was one of the first community members to bring you to the fans to interview you. Because of your role as Albert Wesker. So, hey, Sean, Stars Tyrant, great to see you here.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean, and everyone else. It's good to see you guys. What's up, James? Good to see you.
Hey, Biddly Boo Boo Dee Dee I. Don't be comparing the three of us like that. We all three are good Wesker. We love each other, just so you.
They inspired you.
Hey, Kat,
yeah,
are you on Steam yet?
I did not get anything, unfortunately.
It's saying you're offline right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm online, I swear to you. Let me try something. Oh, I apologize. I'm holding up the stream. Keep talking.
There it is.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's great. Oh,
No worries, no questions yet. But a lot of, I love you, DC! All Weskers are kings.
So, DC, you've been Wesker in so many games for Capcom. Forgive me if it's an obvious question, but what would you say was your favorite game to voice the antagonist?
God, I hate that question. No, I'm kidding.
I thought it was an obvious, not a horrible one.
What's funny is I'm really one of those bad voiceover people that I tend to forget who's producing what when I'm doing it. There's so many people that are like know the names and know the company, even know the lore of what they're doing. I'm not that guy. I'm really bad about it. So afterwards they'll go, oh, that was a Capcom game. How about that? But in the Resident Evil world, is it 8 or 9, something like that, most of which people like when I tell that they're like kind of surprised. Resident Evil 5, sometimes they think that and Umbrella Chronicles, which was the first one. But there was also the Marvel vs. Capcom game was 3. Is that 3? That one was really enjoyable to do because it literally was a half-hour session. It's like because all the lines are so short, like 10 one-liners and then a whole bunch of little grunts and things like that, and then like thank you, and then the game went on and on and on. So that was really nice. There's actually some fun, interesting little liners in Teppen, which just came out. But that's also to me a bizarre game because it's on your phone or computer. I don't know exactly how it works. But it also looks a little like Marvel vs.
Mobile.
What's that?
No, just saying. Yeah, it's a game for mobile devices.
Oh, it is just for mobile. That was fun. But obviously, the big one was Resident Evil 5. So unfortunately, I didn't get to enjoy it as much as I would because it was very technical. They, the use for because they what was his name? Lally. Ken Lally does cap for Wesker in Resident Evil 5. So he, worked weeks on it doing that stuff, and then I was brought in, and they do the face of me and the voice. But the technology at that time was that we had to wear the little dots all over our face, go into the studio. They've got cameras around you, about 180 degrees around you, with lasers pointed at your face. And then they kill you. No. They no, but what they do is it's reading all those dots. But because the technology was pretty nascent then, is you had to articulate your expressions, and if we all know Wesker, he's not one to like be really emotive with his face.
No.
And the voice, when you do voiceover, your face is usually, you're acting not just with your voice, with your face, with your body a lot of times. And so trying to be really emotive with the face time, keeping yourself, it's really difficult to do. Plus, if you have a conversation with like a couple people, we tend to like kind of glance around or move our head, much not to go off mic, but we move it a bit. But there, they said you can't look, you have to look straight ahead the entire time. Plus, you can't gesture because if the arms and hands come up, they break the lasers. aimed at your face. And as voice actors, we're always gesticulating, sometimes way too much, just because it really adds to the effort doing a character who's running or fighting or whatever. If you're standing perfectly still, you really have to fake it all in the voice. So, so it was a very constrictive session. Plus, to add on to that, I'm sorry, I'm so long-winded, but to add on to that, the original Chronicles, the first one, they played Peter Jessup's voice, so I kind of incorporate that into my performance and sound more like Peter Jessup's version of Wesker. So I assumed the same when I went to do RE5, and I'm in the session after the dots and everything. Literally, it's like an hour to get the dots on all, and they've got it all tech and ready to go. They got the Japanese producers in another room. So there's like a little bit of chaos, and then they go, okay, we're just gonna play you character, and then they play Richard Waugh, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's a different Wesker. So what you hear in RE5 is me doing a very between sort of having Jessup's performance, adding in Waugh's performance, and then of course the character's evolving, and that's when I get to put more of my own performance. Plus, you have my natural instinct to not want to get too hammy with it, and them wanting to get very hammy with it. So there's so many weird dynamics with it. But it was, it was pretty grateful. I was also really pissed to find out that I then, spoiler alert, die in it. I'm like, what the F? I'm like, yeah, I thought, are we allowed to swear, by the way? Because I've got a very bad mouth.
Oh,
no. That would be a no.
Yeah.
YouTube can be very finicky about that.
If
we
can try and avoid it, then it does help with.
I'm going to do my best not to. If one slips out, please forgive me. So, but I'll be.
Well, we can bleep it out with a kind of like a Wesker from Chris going Wesker.
Right. There you go. Or every time I say something bad, just cut in me going crash. I can't do it. Hey,
we should use that soundbite.
I guess I can now say this. I was actually in the running to do the voice of Siri when they were doing the second version of, and
oh wow,
and yeah, it would have been a great freaking gig as well. They flew us to San Francisco for the callbacks, put us up over, and unfortunately I didn't get it. But what I found out later was that they actually already had the guy that they wanted. They just wanted to do one more round to be sure. But I got a free trip to San Francisco out of it. I think they also paid for the callbacks. But anyway, thanks Heather for bringing up some trivia.
I think we're good to go. I'm so sorry about that. My Steam client was completely zonking out, but I think it's fine now.
Yay.
God damn it.
Finally start some gameplay. Yay.
Maybe DC can give us 7 more minutes than originally.
47 minutes. 47 minutes is all I have.
Bloody Eye is saying, we forgive you for Umbrella Chronicles. Umbrella Corps, sorry.
Oh,
what about
you got the bonus costume?
Oh, I'm so sorry. God, okay.
What?
Doesn't matter what she says. She's just a terrorist.
There's nothing wrong with that outfit.
Archie, what have you done? What have you made Cat wear?
I didn't do anything. That was all Cat. This makes for great entertainment. All these technical difficulties.
All right.
My video sadly is really bitty, but I guess there's nothing I can do about it. Or I guess I can like swap over and see it on the. Oh, there is a delay, isn't there?
There's a delay. Yeah, if you watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, but I can see it a lot better on YouTube. It's really muddy on the.
Yeah, the screen share might go a little bit because it's real time.
Gotcha.
That's what we had last time. For some reason.
Which I don't understand why it's doing that, because the first couple times we did it with Joe and Heidi, it was okay.
Yeah, but
I think though
it's Resident Evil remastered, so obviously because of the stills, the image will generally be a lot better. But this is like a very high action game with a lot of motion, so I think it'll come out blurrier.
Yeah, it looks great on YouTube. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, the only thing is that it's delayed, but I guess we'll stay in real time.
Nah, he's fine. He can hear us.
What were you saying about Umbrella Corps?
Bloody Eye was saying we forgive you for Umbrella Corps.
That's not nice.
Stone
Hold on, Umbrella. I heard a lot of people actually enjoyed it. I mean, it's a simple game for what it is. But by the way, there is a maybe you can tell me. I forget which one of you is the Capcom person.
Me?
I did. Yes. So a whole monologue. This I can say because the game is out. I did a monologue where it was the rumors of my demise are greatly exaggerated. Did that ever appear in the game?
I don't recall.
You see, because I know a lot of people didn't play the game, but I was like, maybe you would
I don't
know.
recall, but I only know that somebody posted a video where they caught Wesker saying something on a random transmission, but that was it. But I haven't seen anything else.
No,
Oh.
you know what? I think you might be talking about Teppen. So Teppen is...
No.
it's
This
not
was
Teppen.
definitely for Umbrella Corps, because I remember I'm doing the dialogue,
right.
and then we get to this monologue. Guys, does this mean I'm not dead? And the producers were like, and they were saying,
Oh,
the
yeah,
side
yeah,
game, it
Umbrella
wasn't
Corps,
canon.
yeah.
And then the producer came out and said it was canon, and so it's like it was very confusing to at least me and my peeps on
God, the
Twitter.
fan theories are going to go crazy now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you go
For
back and
sure.
look. And I
On
guess
Twitter,
when you unlock
DC confirms.
No, it does not confirm anything. But go play the game. Well, here's actually I'm kind of promoting the game now. Go and get Umbrella Corps and unlock Wesker, and then try to find all his dialogue, because there was a monologue I recorded, and I would have loved to find out more about it. Also, in Resident Evil, is it 2 or Revelations 2 with Alex?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah. We have a whole scene that I guess they didn't put in, or it's an Easter egg, and no one seems to have found it yet. But there is a scene with Alex, Wesker, and Albert in hell.
In hell?
Did I just blow your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mind
I
blown.
think it's just. I think it was just like an audio thing where they're basically fighting like brother and sister. It was like a 4-line, 5-line exchange.
Yeah, you know what? That might be for raid mode. So depending on who you choose in raid mode as a character, I think some characters have a unique interaction. So it might actually be if you play as Albert and Alex.
Ooh. Everybody, try it. Find his stuff.
No, actually, do it after the stream. Just kidding. But
After the stream.
After.
And my video on Discord is looking fantastic.
awesome.
We have people freaking out in chat about this.
But
Speaking-
I think if you don't mind putting up with the delay, I think generally speaking, the quality on the YouTube screen will be much better for you, DC.
No.
Discord actually
I'm saying my
shows it more
Discord.
clear now.
No, my Discord looks fantastic.
Awesome.
DC,
here we-
speaking of Revs 2, there's one line in that game that I absolutely love. It's when you go, "You imbecile!"
It's funny how the little things people love. So
Yes.
I'll always love you.
I love the big lines too, but that one just always, I don't know, it's just, it's stuck with me.
Oh, neat.
Oh,
All right, DC, you ready for a random question?
Yes, random question. I'm sorry, I'm getting lost in the game.
It's okay.
I'm like,
What is
kill
your
it,
favorite
kill the thing,
Wesker
kill-
line?
Oh my gosh, it's like seriously, you guys know these lines way more than I do, so I get to pick from the lines that are told to me. So obviously, ensuring complete global saturation is very fun because but I just remember in session how Liam started throwing me lines that weren't in the script, and he goes, "Say this, you will give me an egg." And I'm like, and I laughed and all like that. Okay, and I was still waiting to say, "No, say it." Really? Because I didn't know about eggs and things like that. So I'm like, okay, and then he goes, "I require an egg." And I'm like, "Really, Liam? Really?" Oh. Those became very fun because they were just so strange and silly, and I had no idea what. Because when it comes to nerd culture, I'm actually a nerd in a nerd world, and that I don't know anything. So.
Thanks for the help.
Another question. Were you ever contacted in initial stages of Resident Evil 6?
No.
No,
No.
his son
No, not
was.
at all. Actually, I was. Oh, I can't. Yeah, I guess I can. I was contacted for additional scenes that were going to be part of a game that's already come out, a Resident Evil game. There's normally not in, but they were going to put in a scene, and I got very excited. But then the company that was producing that was no longer producing it, and the one that took it over was not doing that scene. And so it went from, oh my god, I'm gonna have a cameo, to you're not.
Oh, the pain.
Yeah, I was very sad because listen, if without Resident Evil and I guess and also Mass Effect, without those two games, people would not have had fans starting in 2010, 2009. I wouldn't have started getting fans maybe because of some of my RPGs, JRPGs and stuff, like in the last 5 or 6 years. So I am so grateful for Resident Evil. It was like it changed my. I thought it was going to, essentially going to be an anonymous act till the day I died, which I had no problem with. But it's certainly more fun than meeting fans and that kind of stuff. And I've met some really amazing people online, like really good friends now, like Bella Spectre and Heather and Snape. Who they are? I'm just using their names. The only problem is if I don't see them like in person very often, I tend to only remember their screen names. But they're good friends. Trust me.
But I mean, quick shout out to your performance in Mass Effect, because I know we're Resident Evil, and I'm sure there's so many as well out there. I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, and I'm having to, make myself condition myself not to ask you questions about Mass Effect. But that was a very striking, a fantastic role you played in Mass Effect.
Oh, thank you. Well, that was the writing. It was all the writing, and then Jim McSwain directing it and allowing me to, or asking me to reel and ground it. And obviously he's, because of the type, the Geth synth thing, he's got a kind of middle of the road. But it was no good. Was very sad when I read in the first one, the Mass Effect 2, about his demise, or the fork where he dies. I was. Well, thank you, by the way. But I was very lucky to be a part of that. I was very happy. That was by being in that Mass Effect 2, getting cast in that, and that put me on a short list, and that's when I got my first TV show, or my first cartoon series regular role as Chase in Transformers, which is the longest running Transformers series. I just thought I'd say that.
Okay.
Oh, Resident Evil Database says hello and come to Brazil.
Monique from
going to Brazil.
Evil
Going to
Database,
Brazil
sure,
would be a great idea. Resident Evil Database. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Can't say anything.
Interesting.
I don't know. Don't know what's going on yet, but maybe I do. I don't know. But there's obviously no announcement, so we're not talking.
Okay. We'll just have to wait.
Sonny,
and see
how are we
then.
doing? How are you doing with the?
I made a little clerical error with the gameplay. I left Kat behind for a second.
Oh,
And I was just
don't leave her
shouting.
behind.
I was like, come on. That's all I can say. My vocabulary is very limited.
Woo! I've dated something like this. That what it actually reminds me of is Pink Floyd's The Wall and the Trial thing. Oh, now I see that it's a Mac guy with the head. It reminded me of his ex-wife in the court trial when she comes showing up.
We've all been there. We've all dated something headless.
Oh, there's so many jokes that I can do right now. But
Oh my god.
Hold them in, DC.
I will.
Okay, we have
Wow,
a question
you're right,
here.
there's a
Would
lot
you
of
ever be
colors
interested
in your-
attending Dublin?
I actually, yes, I would love to go back to Dublin. I did do Dublin 2 years ago. A year ago. No, I went to Dublin Comic Con. But I had a lot of personal stuff going on, so I wasn't able to town as much. So I'd love to go back, because this time I would have it. But it was a nice con and great people, and that was my second time my first time in Ireland. I shouldn't say that. Oh shoot, how do I put it? First time in Dublin.
You've got much sympathy with me with regard to how you mentioned that, so I wouldn't worry.
Okay. Yes, and then I was in Belfast. I did back when MCM was owned by the other people. They brought me to Belfast, that was actually fascinating because I had a lot more to toward the bit of the history of it, the sad history. And it is a little bit like going into a time machine, because it's like, I guess it's similar to if you were East Berlin back, maybe 20 years ago, because there's this thing of like, seems like time is, the fashions and everything seem to be like 15, 20 years behind the rest of like America and London and things like that. But anyway, yeah, I loved going there. I love to go anywhere, actually. Not your favorite.
And that must be one of the great things about what you do, that although when you're recording, you're just stuck to that one location, of the booth, but then with these cons that allow you to engage and connect with the fans, they just can be all over the place. And I know that not just around the States, you've been around Europe and England.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, that's the funny thing is my dream as a kid was that I've always wanted to be an actor since I was about 7 years old, and but later on I started to fantasize. The idea would be that I would be obviously famous, and that I would do these films in all these great locations, and that was because I do love to travel. Obviously, that never came to fruition, which is careers always take change, to go, especially when you have hardly any control over it. I had no idea that voiceover would lead to me traveling to all these places. So it's kind of a dual thing. The traveling part of it that I'd always, wanted to do with other people paying for it. But then also the idea I get to meet fans, that was bizarre. Like, I never thought I would have fans. And so it's all wonderful. So, yeah, I'm very, very grateful to voiceover for the.
And I'm sorry, I think we cut you off earlier. Were you mentioning, because I know Artie's put in this mod, that you can see the various different colors, the much wider color palette.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, this whole thing would sort of be tinted in green if it was just the...
Yeah, so those of you guys watching, you're seeing a really beautiful version of what you don't normally get to see, so... Funny is I played this game with a friend because I'd wanted to. I shouldn't say they played it and I hit buttons occasionally, but I thought I had done so much more scenes to it. But I know that they sometimes cut them but I didn't realize the game was primarily like breaking things, getting treasure, and killing zombies.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because there's 6 chapters in the game, and Wesker only really appears in the last 2.
Right.
Which is interesting. Most of it is just Chris and Sheva kind of, like you said, killing a bunch of enemies and breaking stuff and getting treasures and everything.
Yeah. Weirdly, oddly, I don't remember this. But I only played it once. Everyone else was laughing.
Yeah, this came out in, what was it? It was 09. It's 10 years ago.
It was 09, yes.
And recorded in 2007.
Wow.
That's pretty early from the sounds of it for VO, because VO is usually like one of the last things to be done.
Because we were doing face mocap for it.
Yeah, you shared a picture of that.
Yeah, I forgot where it was and I found it and put it up. It's funny because I felt old then. And I feel younger now than I do when
I think you earlier, but we've got a question from the Dakota Soldier 84 who asks, hey DC, how did you get to the part for Wesker, and what was your reaction to getting the part?
The part originally was in the first time we did Wesker was Umbrella Chronicles, and that was through a place called Cup of Tea Productions. I do a lot of voiceover over there. A lot of my JRPGs that I've done, and they had the Peter Jessup wasn't available, and so they were auditioning, and I came in, and they played kind of learned it. I didn't know anything about the game. Didn't know. I'd sort of heard Resident Evil before, but had no idea. I just figured it would another, and went in, short audition, booked. And then I was happy that I booked a gig. I didn't know it was big. I truly didn't know it was big until I was playing poker with my friends about 6 months later. Oh, this game's coming out, and I mentioned it, and one of my friends goes, Resident Evil, he goes, that's a pretty big title. And I go, oh, I didn't know that. And he goes, yeah, he goes, who do you play? And I go, Albert. No, I can't swear. But he goes, no, S. And I'm like, Yeah. And he's like, no. And he kept like repeating. I'm like, this is a big thing. And then he explained it to me. So then when they called back and they said, we want you for Resident Evil 5 as a fan, it also made sense because and they explained while I was getting all these strangers requesting to be my. Like, I don't know you. Why do you want to be? Am I cutting out for everybody, or just for George?
You're cutting out a little bit.
A little bit, but it's not like horrible.
You want me to? Should I reconnect or?
Real quick, if you want to, I guess that might help clear it up.
We could ask the live chat if it's okay for everyone else, because only if it's just for me, then I should.
It's just going to take a second for him to reconnect.
Yeah, some people are saying, just a little bit, yeah.
I'll be right back.
We want to find out. We're gonna have to.
All right, I'm going to go turn on this thing.
Maybe they're in that building.
And I'm back.
Yeah.
Is this better?
It's actually worse.
Oh, is it? Oh no.
Everybody's starting to cut out.
No, I wouldn't say it's worse. It's fine. I mean, it tends to be.
It's fine now, yeah.
It tends to be absolutely fine for periods, and then just only cutting out ever so slowly.
RT,
right.
would you like a heal
hey.
before I go up?
Sure.
You want a heal? Do you want a
okay,
heal? I took all the herbs.
No.
Here's,
She just tagged him. She just put graffiti on it. And what the heck?
Such vandalism.
Do you guys know how hard it is for me not to swear?
I would imagine it's pretty difficult.
So this is a very tense part. You have lickers coming at you from all directions, and I have to push this box.
There's another joke in there, but I'm gonna leave that
I feel like I'm just enabling you at this point.
Pretty much anybody is. So, I mean, it's not you. It's just me. I've got a problem.
It's not you, it's me.
We all love you for it.
We've got a great question from Luna Indie Studios for DC. If Wesker had succeeded in achieving complete global saturation, what do you think he'd be doing now?
That was a funny line, but I hear nobody reacting, so maybe they cut
It cut out.
Oh, darn it.
You did cut out.
The timing is all gone now as well. I said Bahama.
There was any Bahamas left at that stage.
Oh, stop it. It was one island, everybody. That one whole, I mean, it's so bad for that one island. There's a lot of islands in the Bahamas. So, Cat Island is a wonderful island, and didn't do any damage.
Wow, I died.
I would go to... What the...
Oh, Artie!
Are you a professional or not?
It's okay, it's
Oh,
okay.
I died!
I got a backup.
It's casual. Oh, I died.
Hortensia says I'm not loud enough. Am I loud enough for...
You are plenty loud
I mean,
enough.
We can all hear you just fine.
Yep.
All right. And it's also, I guess, a delay, so Hortensia's remote thinking is like in the other time zone.
We had a great question from Sir CG, I think it's pronounced, asking, has voicing Albert Wesker changed you as a person in any way?
Has it changed me as a person in any way?
Yeah, I think it was a slightly longer question, and it was sort of alluding to sort of your time as Albert Wesker over this period of your career, and I think sort of experiences you've taken from the role, and if it's maybe changed your profession, I don't know.
Well, acting-wise, I wouldn't say, other than having to not impersonate, because I certainly don't do that, but I'm not good at it. But incorporating other people's performance, that was, from an acting perspective, that was interesting to do because I realized it's a better way to find character voices. I need to do it more often. It's actually something that, oh gosh, what's his name? I can't think of his actor. You know him. Anyway, he's on The Simpsons. He does lots of the other random characters on that show. And he talks about how the way that he'll come up with the voices, he thinks of of two famous people's voices that would be good for this, and then he tries to do them. He tries to impersonate them, knowing that he's horrible at impersonations, so it becomes his own voice, his own version of the character. You have no idea that he's actually just trying to do, John Wayne or something, because it's his version of it. I thought that was really clever. I thought that's, taking something that you have a weakness, like for me, very well, and using it actually as a benefit, which means it's a great, quick cheat to create a new character voice. So from an acting perspective, it did that. But that's about it, really. I've been an actor since I guess I was 11 years old when I started community theater, and I studied acting for 5 years. And just when I moved here, film and television, and then also did the improv group that was in a theater company. So it's by the time I got the voiceover. The acting aspect of that stuff was really pretty well ingrained. Obviously, you continue to grow, but I had a pretty good foundation by the time I started to really treat voiceover seriously. I never really treated it seriously. I wanted to do film and television, and so that would be another way that affected me. Is that I have much more respect, obviously, for this field back then. Back then, it was. It's just a way of, hey, by the way, I was born in '66. Anyway, back then it was a way for me to just, add for my rent and things like that.
Oh, here's the cutscene.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Everybody
This
be
is
ready.
fun.
Audio on this?
Maybe I'll tell you. Maybe I won't.
Are you guys doing the audio on that?
Yes.
No.
Oh, you guys are lucky. Oh, some of you are lucky.
People in chat are saying the game audio is pretty loud.
Oh, I hear it now.
Oh, now I hear it a little bit.
It must be on your mic.
Stop playing around. We
Here
want some answers.
Comes the.
You haven't changed.
Let's see the peroxide blonde.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hello, Dad.
You are alive.
This is Wesker.
That's Wesker?
At the Spencer estate, wasn't it? Well, isn't this
I wish I
one
could hear
big
this.
family reunion?
Are you able to hear it on the live stream?
I would expect you to be happier to see us. Us. So slow to catch on.
People are saying the game audio needs to be lowered.
I will do so after the cutscene.
Hello, Jill.
Jill.
The
Oh,
true
yeah, not even on
Jill.
the live stream. That's weird.
Jill, it's me, Chris.
What? Are you sure that's her?
Hey, Amy. Good to see you.
And only.
I have abs for days. My abs, it takes you days to find.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Somebody says, how did Wesker ever survive the heat in that suit? Oh, somebody noticed that Jill's a brunette. Yeah!
Yay.
She is not blonde.
2 on 2.
This is the
She's
canon
not
version.
blonde? Why is her hair brunette here? Question mark.
7 minutes.
Let's get it going.
I'm
7
looking-
minutes.
We've all got our favourite Wesker lines, but Resistance Network wanted to know, DC, what's your favourite Wesker?
Your future
Oh, I said that
hinges upon this
before. It was the egg stuff. You will give me an egg. I love those versions of that.
We'll
line.
never win like this. Time to change tactics.
We're with you, Sean. Jill Stars Tyrant says this broke my heart when I first played it. I just didn't want to fight Jill.
Aw.
Yeah.
You're merely postponing the inevitable.
Bloody Eye says, Artie, you must really dislike RE5 Jill.
I'm just holding Jill. I'm wrestling her here. Sorry if you can hear the button mashing.
I was going to say, it sounds really intense. Someone's definitely playing.
I will try to distance it from the microphone.
It's quite cool. It's almost like, back in the 1980s when playing on home computer.
1980s?
Yeah,
back in
someone's
the
still using a
80s.
keyboard. Yeah, all the kids these days use
Those 1980s streams were so good, man.
Yeah.
Jet set, really.
I think that's called sending like a series of pictures. Actually, if it was 80s, that would mean you were faxing a
Artie, do you want to fight Wesker, or do you want to just avoid him?
I'm about to fight him now,
there you
hopefully.
are.
You're gonna.
Oh, ooh.
All right, I'm coming to join you. So is Jill.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
he got
another
kicked.
recording.
Ow.
Yeah, he's kind of
Maybe-
difficult to defeat.
He
Maybe you
is.
should let Wesker kill
Ah.
you.
My apologies,
chance.
DC. Resistance Network. I misunderstood his question. He's asking if you had a new line of your choice, what would it be? A new line for Wesker?
Not a
I
pre-existing
want you
one.
to stop writing scripts on the hot mail.
I guess it would be. Hang on here, I'm thinking of one. It would probably. It would be to Jake, and it would be Jake, the fighter you disappoint. As the son, you're despicable. I don't know. I don't know why I'm giving Jake such shit. Because he's so moral and sweet. Hey, you're missing treasure.
Yeah.
All that treasure.
So much treasure.
Oh, hey, Wesker.
I'm
That's
kind
all I
of
learned
busy.
from-
Oh, hey, Wesker.
Ah,
Woo.
nice
Ooh,
shot.
that was fun.
Artie left me alone with Wesker.
Yeah, another
you both?
question. Let's
Both?
see here.
Are you both with Wesker? Wait, I don't see Jill.
Jill is. Oh, there she is.
Get out of there.
Uh-oh.
We're in the danger
Chris.
zone now. Oh,
He's gonna
Chris,
kill you.
You're not very.
oh, you killed me.
Oh my god, I'm still luck to you. All right,
Yay.
we need to start fighting him basically as soon as he kicks you through the door.
Yeah, you have to follow me
So-
through the door so that we can open up that box.
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
can- I'll get the Desert Eagle.
Yeah, that's
Just-
cool. It's
I
just
was-
I thought.
I was blasting him with the shotgun and it wasn't doing enough.
Yeah, no, you need to when you fight Wesker like this, you have to time it. The person standing behind him has to shoot.
Well, I've got a different tactic. If you get him to not know where you are, and he comes around the corner, you can shoot him right as soon as he comes around the corner because he hasn't triggered you yet, or you haven't triggered his senses yet.
Peekaboo.
He's gonna choke me out. You need to come over here right now.
Trevor.
Oh, Jill's following me.
Question for
You
DC.
really I just gotta say, the way I decorated this place is really boring. It's literally, it's like I got a deal on vases.
Watch out for Jill. I think she's around here.
DC, you ready for a question?
Ah, hell, why not?
When was the last time you got to hang out with Roger Craig Smith?
Roger Craig Smith, and I do not like him. We once, no, that's not true. Sorry, I'm trying to think of something, but nah. No, he's a sweetheart. I would actually, that was
want
somebody
the
I'd love to
Desert
hang
Eagle
out, but he's always traveling out somewhere to film this night sky. But I've met him twice. Once at a session, it was a Resident Evil session for one of the other games, and then my computer's went to sleep. And then the other time was he guest starred on an episode of Transformers Rescue Bots. And there's a little video that I thought it was so funny because so Steve Bloom and Roger Craig Smith and myself and I did this little quick video of the three of us. So if you're a really big Resident Evil fan, I have done a fair amount of fan years. If you go to D.C.Douglas.com, go to the voiceover side of then there's a little player with videos. You can select playlists, video game, cartoon playlist. When there, look in the description of that page, and you'll see that there's a Resident Evil playlist you can go to. Click on that, and it's a whole bunch of videos about Resident Evil, and it includes that one with Roger Craig Smith. It also has the the fake bloopers outtake that I did for Resident Evil 5. It has the Old Spice commercial with Albert Wesker. It has a video with Legion and Albert Wesker. There's a couple other good ones in there too. Oh, there's the 12 Days of Christmas sung by Albert Wesker. There's one with Wesker having a conversation. So yeah, go there, check it out.
Wait, don't shoot.
Did anybody hear?
Yeah, we heard you.
Oh, good. Just making sure. Sometimes it gets quiet, and I'm in a booth when I get lonely.
Aww.
Well, no, not to feel lonely. We've another old friend, DC, who's
I missed the
from the
combo.
Project Umbrella podcast. He interviewed you with Sean Hall. Nick Endine, better known as Neptune. You've got Nick Endine and Sean Hall, both from the Project Umbrella podcast, who interviewed you a few years ago, DC. So they've come in.
Oh, nice. Well, hello. Well,
I just found a random question directed to Kat.
Oh, hello.
Would you like to see Jake in a new game?
Sure. I thought Jake was a pretty interesting character. Always interesting to picture Wesker as dad. Not sure that's what I originally envisioned, but let's go with it.
I don't think Wesker envisioned that either.
Yeah. Very, very
Jake
possible.
has daddy issues.
Very much so.
I hate my dad, but I like him. I hate him. Let's see here. Do-do-do-do.
I missed the name. Someone wanted you to say their name, DC, in the voice of Albert Wesker, and they said they could die happy. So,
Well,
when
you
they
can
want
find
to
me on
back
you
in
can
the
find me
chat.
on cameo.com/Mr. D.C.Douglas. And then I'll do it. No, I'm
Yeah, because I mean, you must get so many requests because it's that just. I mean, as you say, the character developed on from how he's portrayed by Peter and Richard. That he really is quite an iconic voice. We use that word a lot, but you know, it's so recognisable. And it must be just so much fun to to own that and to be known.
Oh
known
my
for
God,
it.
yes, of course. Yes, no, I'm truly grateful. But what was the name of it? You wanted me to say?
I'm gonna keep looking in the chat, and I'm sure they'll come up again. So just pop up again, and
All right.
we'll pass it on to DC. Thank you, DC.
But I did
Well, here's-
want to say, if
It
you've got,
it wasn't a particularly long or offensive name. It was quite a basic.
No.
Yeah.
No worries. I did want to say though that if you've got like friends, people, those of you listening who've got friends and things like that, and you want just like shout outs, I did finally join cameo.com, and it's a pretty great website. And his birthday's happy and things like that.
Shoot him now. Shoot him in the back.
So check that out. It's cameo.com/MRDC.Douglas.
Okay, and then they can kind of that way fans can get their request to
Well,
you
that-
that way. Yes.
That's what we do for shout-outs for all sorts of stuff. Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, if I did all the shout-outs requests I got on Twitter and whatnot, I'd be I'd be all day long sending out these videos. Cameo is a great way of like funneling that kind of stuff.
Well, another question
Oh,
here,
wow.
DC from Raw Derps. Have you played the very first Resident Evil game, and if so, what did you think of it?
I did not, but I've seen cutscenes, and oh my God, it looks horrible. It's funny, for the longest time, I thought that the first Wesker was Sergio Jones. And
Yeah.
I talked to some people who actually talked to him, and he acknowledges that he was the first one and all, but he was also did like kind of like on-camera stuff and mainly like B films and stuff, and then he just kind of like quit, I guess, the business, and he's out there in the East Coast. Then, years later, some other Resident Evil place reached out to me, and they said, did you ever meet, and it was a whole other person's name, but apparently, I guess, did live-action versions of Wesker for the very first Resident Evil in the 90s, and that he is the voice of Wesker in that first game. So, all of a sudden, the Sergio Jones' name is considered, but even though he did acknowledge that he was the voice. So there's a controversy about the very first Wesker. And it's funny, I do want to defend their performance because obviously a lot of that is pretty bad. And It's because back then you weren't given context for a lot of the scenes. In the 90s, it was these coders that were creating these games. They just spat out an Excel sheet with all, give it to an engineer and someone to direct, maybe. And then we'd have to go in there and then go, I think this is where he, you know, like they really didn't know. I think you're in battle, you know. So we'd actually sometimes do 3 versions of a line, just talking and then really quiet, intimate, because they didn't know where it was going to go. You didn't know what it was in response to either, so there's no natural flow to the dialogue. Now flash forward to, and they give you the scene with all the other people's dialogue. Also a little paragraph at the top of it describing what's going on and the importance of it within the story arc. The director even knows more beyond that with what's going on. So we're really, that's why the acting in Mass Effect is so good. It's because we as actors know what our antecedent is, know what the arc is, know where all these, you know, potential forks are headed. So, yeah. So that's my defense of Sergio Jones or the other guy, whoever did his voice.
Well, you're right. There were 2 different actors for the live, you know, the live action intro that they did, and then the actual voice actor. There were different actors for those roles.
You say that, but that's not what I've been told otherwise as well. So it gets
Wow.
confusing.
Yeah, or maybe it's only for certain maybe.
Or
only
maybe
some-
it could be a language barrier, because I think the guy from the wiki thing that was reaching out to me, they were, it could be that they asked him, and he said, yes, I did the voice of Wesker in that game, meaning that, yeah, intro, not that he did the voice through the whole game.
Yeah.
Or maybe he did record the voice for the whole game, but then was replaced by Sergio Jones. You know what I mean? So it's, who knows?
Now
All I know is I'm the one going to the conventions.
Now, are you okay to take a question from a super fan?
Yeah,
Are you brave enough?
questions from every.
Well, this is Steve Wesker, and he's okay. He actually lives in my city, and I've met him, so he's safe. He's cool. What DC? What is your favorite thing to do that takes 7 minutes?
Oh, cute. And again, I can't swear either, so you've really made this difficult for me.
Narrowed it down for you. Sorry.
I think meditate. A good 7-minute meditation is always helpful.
Of course. Precisely 7 minutes. Can we get the classic line delivered, maybe, for the chat?
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I have to do with you.
Excellent.
Love it.
It's funny, it's like, you know, the way I did the lines there and the way that I do them now is I get more and more closer to the mic, I get lower in my voice, I get more texture. And it's like, it's at one point, it's like, it's just going to sound like a whole other thing. And then they're going to go, okay, DC, we're going to have you back for a game with Wesker. We're going back in the timeline to when he's 25. And I'll be like, I'm ready. I'm 25-year-old Albert Wesker.
Well, hopefully one day you might have to, you know, go back in time and reprise the role. You know, yeah, we'll have to
Right,
see. I'll be very careful what I say with that here.
Oh, no, and I was
G-
joking. I don't know if you guys heard me or not. I feel like, because you're kind of breaking up, so maybe I'm breaking.
Just a little bit, not too much. GT, the person who asked to have their name said by DC is in there in the questions, and there's a bunch of new questions coming in.
So what's the name again?
I think it's Hortensia Diaz.
I said his name already.
Oh, you did? I didn't.
Hortensia Diaz.
Oh, okay.
You're a greedy little boy.
Well, do you want a random question from Yoke?
Sure.
Was it hard making the grunts and pain sounds?
You're Sheva, right?
No, no, of course not. It's fun. The hardest part was yelling Chris at the end of the volcano thing. And the thing is Liam is an actor. He was directing RE5, and so he likes to look out for his actors. And he said, and he told the producers, so here's the screen, and we're only going to do it once. And so let's make sure we get what you want. He got all the directions first before we then did it. So then I do the thing, and then they went, oh no, we meant a little more. And Liam's like, I'm so sorry. All right.
Also, Hortensia says, I'm a girl.
Oh, so greedy little girl. So anyway, so that was. So now when I go to conventions, people want me to yell Chris, and I'm like, no, sorry. I'm gonna have to work on Monday, and I don't want to hurt my voice, all weekend long yelling Chris for everybody. Every now and then I'll do it, so because I'll usually.
No, your
It's,
wife is here, DC. Hey, DC. I don't know if you told her that you were going to be here tonight, but would you ever do a full body Wesker RE5 cosplay?
I have a goatee that I don't want to shave, so I wouldn't necessarily play right. But if you want to see me close to, go look for the movie called Apocalypse Kiss. Or if you go to D.C.Douglas.com, go to my on-camera side, my film TV side, look up, pull the film playlist, and Apocalypse Kiss is there, and you can see scenes from that film. The producers of that were fans of Resident Evil, and that's why they contacted my agent and cast me in this movie. We shot it in Philadelphia a few years ago. I said, and the character is not like Wesker really at all, to a little bit. It's a serial killer, and I had about 6 months to get ready for the film, and I said, hey, Evil fans, why don't we do it a little bit like an homage? Like I'll dye my hair blonde, and I'll get a tan. And he was like blown away that I was willing to do that, and so I did. Dyed my hair blonde, slicked it back like Wesker. We have one scene in the movie where I actually put some sunglasses on, which is pretty funny. And so if you look that up, Apocalypse Kiss, you can probably rent the whole thing somewhere online, I'm sure of it. You can see me looking very Albert Wesker-ish.
Oh, cool. I don't know that. I'll check that out. Wow, I didn't know about that.
Hey, Artie.
Yes.
Question. On Discord, the screen's green,
Oh, that's weird.
I'm pro.
but everybody says it's still playing on the live stream.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
That's
at least there's that. We haven't lost that.
I have a question for you, DC. As someone who has done the singing thing before, and thinking of what you just said about your delivery of the incredibly strenuous line with shouting Chris's name, do you have anything that you do to kind of any type of exercises or any type of secrets to do to kind of smooth up your vocal cords?
For no.
For voice acting.
No.
It comes very natural.
Here's what I do. First stuff with a lot of the screaming and stuff, I'm pretty lucky that with a certain amount of phlegm and using support like a singer uses diaphragm support, you can get through a lot of screams without doing much damage. It's when you squeeze your throat that and you don't have breath control that you can hurt your cords. Or sometimes if it's just overuse, which is like, so you're doing all the right things and you technically wouldn't be hurting your voice, but by doing it over and over and over again all day long, your voice will start to get scratchy by the end of the day. So, and there's really nothing you can do except at that point, it's tea with honey, all those kinds of the things that you normally would know, the common sense stuff.
Right.
But for me, when I go in for okay. Hello.
Yes.
Oh, you can still hear me. Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say, for me, the basic thing is when I go to a session, I just essentially I'll go through the alphabet and I'll say every letter about 10 times in various different ways with my that warms up the voice. Plus, it gets the agility of my tongue and lips going, especially when I have a VO session at 9 in the morning. My mouth does not want to do.
Yeah, it doesn't always want to cooperate. Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, that's great. Cool. No raw egg drinking or anything like that, because I've pulled that a few times.
Oh no. Cool.
All right, sorry, we had some disconnection, so I'm joining again here. Yeah,
Oh, welcome.
it's gonna happen.
It's
Cool.
still broken on the Discord.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't want to put a damper on things, but DC, it's been about that hour mark.
Oh, it is. And I'm sorry, kids, that I'm gonna have to go because I have to get to a session. I think I blew it. I think I told you guys I had 2 hours, and I thought later on in my head I thought it was 1 hour, and
You've had a
Fridays everything tends to
fantastic
like
time.
roll on.
It's just been amazing. Very quickly, DC, because that was a fantastic question,
Sure.
Kat. We had a very good follow-up question from Mrs. Albert Wesker. If you did ever, God forbid, damage your vocal cords, or do you have a technique for sort of for when you were resting, for resting up?
Oh my God, yes, cocaine and hookers.
Oh,
And
the
on
old
that,
classic.
I think I should go.
Thank you so much, DC.
bomb
It was a
shadow.
pleasure. It was a pleasure having you on.
It was great meeting you guys too. That
Yes.
little surprise I'll get to you later today. And again, thank you guys so much. Those of you out there listening, if you're not following me on Twitter, you should, because I have a new account now. I'm back. This one's troll proof, so I hopefully will be here for good. And it's at MRDC. Same as goes for Instagram and Facebook. But yeah, please follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to rebuild my follower base. And guys, this was fun watching the game being played, especially in these beautiful colors. So
Yeah, thank you, Artie.
yay! This was
Thank you
fun.
very much. Thank you,
You
guys.
kicked our butts in this session.
Well, I'm Albert Wesker.
Fans want you to come back on here.
Well, I'll yeah, in the future. Well, hopefully I can come back with a new game. Crossed. I know nothing, by the way. I'm not saying that I'm in anything. I'm not. I have not recorded anything for Wesker. Okay. Just
He died. He
Easy to
died.
that.
He died in a volcano.
he's dead in a volcano. People, let it go. Anyway.
All right.
Anyway, thank you all very much. Have a lovely.
Take care.
Take care.
Have a
Thanks,
wonderful
DC.
Cheers.
day. Take it easy. Bye bye.